ES Audio.
Hello, I'm Mark Blunden, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, a 380 million year old pumping heart, which shows a critical moment in evolution. But first, experts say the fingerprint of climate change is on Pakistan's devastating floods after analysis found a link with extreme rainfall. Large areas of Pakistan suffered record-breaking monsoons earlier this summer that caused the Indus River to burst its banks over thousands of square miles and led to urban flash floods and landslides. More than 1,500 people have died and 33 million people have been affected, while homes, roads, health centres and schools have been destroyed or damaged, livestock killed, cropland ruined, and there have been outbreaks of disease. Pakistan received more than 3 times its usual rainfall in August, and now scientists at World Weather Attribution say intense rain has become heavier in the South Asian region as heavy industry fuels global warming. Clinical trials have shown a new drug therapy to treat moderate to severe eczema in young children is apparently safe and highly effective. In an international study published in The Lancet, dupilumab was shown to improve the severity of the skin condition within 2 weeks in patients aged between 6 months and 6 years old. Based on the findings, doctors believe the treatment may be approved for children under the age of 6 in the UK soon, as it's already been licensed here in the UK for adults and children aged 6 to 18. A charity in Bali has now installed 150 barriers and collected over 650 tonnes of plastics from the island's rivers, mangroves and coastline.
In Bali's most populated, densest area, called Pemogan, just south of the capital city of Bali, Denpasar, stumbled across hectares and hectares of plastic-filled mangroves. It was almost 1 meter layer deep and rooted in the roots of the mangroves. All nature perished. You can see any small animals or anything like that. Sometimes the water turns black with heavy toxic chemicals. It can turn red.
Speaking to us from South Bali in Canggu, Indonesia, that's Gary Benchigib, co-founder of the Sungai Watch charity, alongside his brother and sister.
During the pandemic, which is when we really started, we saw how much locals are trashing the island because of the lack of infrastructure that we have available. Here, when locals use plastic, they'll throw it out of sight, out of mind, down the river. It flows out, first rains, and then goes straight into mangroves on the coast, the ocean. We need to set up proper infrastructure to make sure that we have actual solutions to deal with waste.
Using upcycling and simple technology, the team designed barriers from nets, floating booms and cages to collect waste. Rivers are extremely unpredictable, so they have to adjust accordingly.
We get to meet the Indonesian president, who deploys 7,000 military troops to clean that river. Since then, we've been monitoring the cleanup efforts of the Citarum and have stayed in very close touch with the army. They're always the first one that show up. They always come up and really help us.
The charity audits every single piece of rubbish and logs it in their database, and the hope is that it pushes governments and companies to act every time clean-up data is released publicly. Now, it's not often at all that we quote Billy Bragg on this podcast, but please reference the lyrics in his 1983 single A New England to make sense of the apparent fireball that streaked across the skies of Scotland and Northern Ireland. As Bragg sang, "I saw 2 shooting stars last night. I wished on them, but they were only satellites." And indeed, the brilliant fireball, zooming overhead, that sparked 800 reports to the UK Meteor Network, is now believed to have been humdrum space junk. Bragg says it's wrong to wish on space hardware, but good luck if you did, and at least it makes for a good pub or dinner party tale. The world's largest airline club wants about half of its 26 million members to use biometrics technology by 2025. This apparently results from passenger demand for contactless travel after COVID-19, amid a boom in facial recognition technology everywhere, and people arguably not putting up much of a protest about the privacy repercussions. More private firms will be scanning, analysing and storing our personal features. By increasing the number of airport touchpoints where passengers can use biometrics like face recognition as a boarding pass, Star Alliance says this will cut security and general waiting about time. It comes as global experts in Montreal discuss biometrics to replace conventional travel documents at a United Nations aviation symposium. Let's go to the ads. Coming up, that 380 million year old preserved heart, plus a rare astronomical image of the comet Leonard. Why not hit rate and follow in the meantime? A 380 million year old preserved heart has been found inside a dinosaur fish called the Gogo. Researchers from Curtin University in Perth say the specimen reveals a critical moment of evolution and a link to how the organ pumps blood for vertebrate mammals. The fossilised remains of the long-extinct Gogo fish were discovered perfectly preserved in the Kimberley region of Western Australia, and the findings published in the journal Science. The discovery is so rare because instead of the usual bones found in fossils, the team discovered the region's minerals preserved internal organs, which, as well as the heart, also included liver, stomach and intestine. The winner of the Royal Observatory Greenwich's Astronomy Photographer of the Year is a rare image of a piece of comet Leonard's gas tail being disconnected and carried away by the solar wind. The image, by Austrian photographer Gerald Reimann in Namibia on Christmas Day, will be on display alongside the winners of the other categories in an accompanying exhibition at London's National Maritime Museum. And finally, a disabled dog has become a TikTok and Instagram sensation after racking up hundreds of millions of views because she loves ditching her wheelchair to run around on her two front legs. Dixie, the adorable mastiff, has been paralysed in both her back legs since birth, but she's developed a serious case of joie de vivre. The 5-year-old dog had surgery to remove both of her back legs and needs to wear a nappy, but her owner Brittany Heuser says Dixie is otherwise healthy, and videos of her frolicking around have gone viral to some of their 150,000 online fans. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for The Leader from the Evening Standard here in London. Tech and Science Daily is back on Monday at 1 p.m.